Hi, and welcome to this week's edition of the Las Vegas Advisor Weekly Update with Anthony and Andrew. Today is Wednesday, August 24th, 2022, and there's a lot going on as usual. We're going to start with what's happening at Bally's, Anthony.
Soon not to be Bally's.
That's right.
They've peeled off the letters, the BALLY''S, gone from the tower, which is part of this transition that they're going to make in the rebranding to Horseshoe Las Vegas. So everybody's been saying, when's it going to happen? When's it going to happen? They're doing some cosmetic things inside, but this is the big, sign, if you will, that is really going to happen, and it's going to happen pretty quickly from this point forward, I think.
It's a sign of the times.
Yes, it is. All absolutely.
Right. And they're going to make this like the premier casino for poker. Like they're going to do the WSOP here every year.
Yeah, they're doing a couple of things. The reasons they're doing it, the big poker tie-in, and they ran the World Series of Poker this year at Bally's, and they wanted it to be already Horseshoe by then, but they didn't get to it. They didn't get it done. But yeah, they're going to run the World Series of Poker there. They also want to tie in with kind of a value statement, because the Horseshoe downtown, Binion's Horseshoe, was always considered the value place to go. Now, Binion's was known for $2 steaks and free parking and everything else like that. Great food deals, good gambling games. But that's about as far away from strip style as you're ever going to find, right? So you're not going to find any $2 steaks here on the strip.
Now, Anthony, you were talking about Bally's as a brand on the news the other night. Let's talk about that for a second. What do you think?
Right, local news call, Channel 13, and I talked to this young guy, who's only been in Vegas for a little while, and he didn't even know, really where the Horseshoe was downtown. But he said, Bally's is a very important brand in Vegas, right? And I said, well, not really. And I mean, the reality is Bally's was a middle of the road kind of nothing brand here. More people when you think of Bally's, you think of Atlantic City. It was in Atlantic City before it was in Vegas. And Bally's was originally MGM Grand here, and then it became Bally's. But Bally's was never really a big brand in Vegas, which is why they're willing to get rid of the name and switch over. Well,
and then Bally's is also a Caesars property. It's a Caesars Entertainment-owned property.
Yeah, I mean, just not a lot of wild things happened at Bally's. I mean, if I had to, I can think of two things that Bally's stood for. One is they had the Sterling Brunch, which was the most lavish and elaborate brunch in Vegas for years. And two is Jubilee, the show Jubilee, which was one of the last great showgirl extravaganzas. But you take away Sterling and Jubilee, and Bally's wasn't really known for much.
Yeah, that's interesting.
So maybe they'll do something fancy there. Maybe they'll have something cheap. Maybe they'll have a $17 steak. I don't know.
All right, so Bally's, we're looking for something.
Absolutely.
All right, and football season is upon us. We are ending out the month of August, and what's going on with the football contests in town, Anthony?
Well, as usual, there's going to be a lot of them. We're compiling all the information right now.
Okay.
We every year we put it up on LasVegasAdvisor.com. We have all the information about all of the tournaments that are being played, from the biggest ones with $5,000 entry fees at Westgate, to the smallest ones, which are sometimes free to play on the kiosks.
Oh, cool!
And we'll have all of that up in a couple of weeks before the season starts. But here's what we got to talk about right now: is the Circa contest.
Yeah, that's the one you're looking forward to the most, I think.
Yeah, well, everybody's been asking me, are you going to play Survivor? Are you going to play Millions? Well, I'm going to play them both.
Yeah.
Like we did last year.
Okay.
And hopefully we don't have an early bad beat story or a bad beat story at all to tell the people.
Right.
But I'm definitely gonna play those. But for people who have not played a contest before, here's a big opportunity. To play a big contest, and that's the Circa Millions.
And this is because of the potential overlay.
We talked about this a lot last year, that they needed to get X number of people, either 5,000 or 6,000, I forget what it was last year, entries.
Yeah.
And they got only last year 4,087. So it was an overlay, meaning they were giving back more money than they were taking in.
Okay.
So here's what's happening this year. They raised the amount that they're giving back. They're giving back a guarantee of $6 million for Circa Millions, and $6 million for Survivor.
Wow!
Which means they need 6,000 entrants in each one of those just to break even.
Okay.
If not, it's another overlay situation.
And do you know how many entrants they have so far?
I do. I mean, based on their, this changes and it will be more by now. But as of right now, they need, and we're talking about Circa Millions right now.
Okay.
I think that Survivor is going to get there. I think they're going to get very close to the 6,000. But Circa Millions, I don't think so. Right now, they need 6,000. They have 1,643.
Okay.
And there's like less than 3 weeks to go. 1,643. This is a really good opportunity. It's $1,000 entry fee. So you got to be willing to do that. But this, from a gambling standpoint, from what we call expected value, this is called an equity overlay, and it's as good an opportunity as you're ever going to get in a contest or a tournament, probably.
Okay.
So we'll follow this, and we'll do updates on this as we get closer. But anyone who's looking for a deal in a contest and you want to give it a try, this is what you want to do. This is the one, the Circa Millions.
All right. It's a good deal if you have the money, but it's also hard, right? I mean, you have to be able to pick the winning team each week.
Yeah, and you have to be able to put your picks in every week.
Right.
But they have what are called proxy services here.
Okay.
Meaning that you can hire somebody for $100 or $200. I think it's a couple hundred, and they'll put your picks in for you.
Oh, I'm available. I'm available.
And that's legal.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's some really good. We'll talk about proxies next week.
Okay.
All right, and where people might go for that.
Cool.
One more thing too about Circa. Anyone who's in town right now, this Saturday, I think it's the 27th, they're going to have a free seminar. And they've just opened a whole new convention area at Cirque, and they're real proud of it. And they're going to open up one of the ballrooms. The first event is going to be this free seminar on the upcoming season. They're going to have Brian Urlacher from the used to be a linebacker for the Bears. They're going to have Sean King, former quarterback from the Buccaneers.
Okay,
and
cool.
It's free. It starts at 4 p.m. on Saturday, and I'm going to try to get there.
All right, that sounds really cool. You heard it here, and there's also a lot of reasons to go hang out at Circa because they got dancing dealers, they got delicious drinks, they got.
Circa's the coolest place downtown. I mean, it's the newest and the coolest, but these are some real good reasons to take a look.
And a little bit more to talk about on sportsbooks. What's going on at the Cosmo?
Well, everybody's been asking when Cosmopolitan is going to take on some of the aspects of MGM Grand because they were bought recently by MGM. And here's one of the first big moves. The sportsbook there that was a William Hill sportsbook, as of just this week, is now BetMGM.
Oh, that's super cool.
Yeah, it's a new, a new sportsbook there. Also, we've got pending an approval and just about to happen a brand new sportsbook in Vegas, FanDuel. Is going to open up downtown at the Fremont. So this is a good thing. I mean, anytime you get FanDuel opens, if DraftKings eventually gets in here, Betfred is another one that's trying to open at Virgin, and they're just having problems. They're not opening. But anytime you get a new bookie, there's more opportunities. You've got different kinds of lines, you've got different kinds of limits, you have more promos. So this is a good thing. But really, kind of more important is that FanDuel is going to open downtown.
All right. Well, I'm looking forward to that. I'm definitely going to download BetMGM and FanDuel and see what kind of lines I can get. And in entertainment news, the Cirque show Mystère just had their 13,000th show.
It was the first Cirque show to open in Las Vegas in 1993.
Yeah.
And obviously it's had a lot of staying power. I believe that's more Cirque shows than any other Cirque du Soleil production, and going on 30 years now in Vegas.
That's quite a milestone.
Yeah, it really is, and it's a terrific show. But it's one of 6 Cirque du Soleil shows in Vegas. Right,
they're all over. They're all at different properties.
Right, and we had a question earlier in the week. Somebody said if I had time to go only one Cirque show, which one should I go to?
Okay,
and that's a real tough question because it depends on what it is you like. For example, I would say if you love the Beatles, you would go to Love at the Mirage, right? Because it's all Beatles. It's all based on the Beatles. If you like Michael Jackson, you would go to Michael Jackson 1 at Mandalay Bay because it's all Michael Jackson, I mean, and that's a great show. I mean, it's all the MJ music, but they've also got a hologram of him up there dancing, which is absolutely freaky.
So cool.
It's something else. But
then that's been around for a long time.
I would say for me is the most beautiful one.
Yeah.
It might be the best. There's Ka at MGM, and Ka is easily, I would say, the most technologically advanced.
Sure.
I mean, the things they do at Ka are absolutely amazing. And then you've got Mystère, which has got all the staying power. And for my money, if I wanted to tell somebody one show, go see it, I would say Mystère.
Okay.
All right. But then the last one we didn't talk about is Mad Apple that just opened.
That's right.
And guess what? Mad Apple is the cheapest.
Oh, there you go. Mad Apple at the New York is the least expensive.
Yeah. So if you're budget minded, go see Mad Apple. And we just checked it this morning. They've got $69 seats.
That's great for a Cirque show.
And that's after taxes and fees.
Okay, well,
$69 all inclusive.
the other thing I like about Mad Apple is it's not just a Cirque show, right? It's got stand-up comedy, it's got music, and I haven't seen it yet. This is just what I've heard, so I'm looking forward to seeing Mad
Well,
Apple.
we reviewed it in LV8.
Okay.
And we thought it was a little bit frenetic and hectic.
Okay.
But what they were trying to do, it's interesting. Like your favorite show, I think, is
Absinthe.
Absinthe, right?
I love it. Yeah, well, because it's almost like a Cirque show.
Right, and that was Spiegelworld. And they kind of patterned Absinthe after Cirque du Soleil, but made it edgier.
Yeah.
And it's almost like Cirque then looked at Absinthe and said, okay, we're going to pattern Mad Apple after Absinthe
we
and
need
make
a little bit of that.
Make it edgier, right?
Yeah.
So that's what they're trying to do there. And it's a little bit hectic and frenetic, but it's got some good aspects to it.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing it, and for that reason, that's why I like Absinthe. I like it because it's raunchy, it's funny. I mean, I think it's hilarious, and they have this really beautiful, amazing Cirque-like performances.
Yeah, it's good. That's another good show. And another one that goes right in that category is Blue Man.
Oh yeah, been around forever.
Blue Man Group is another one. But of the Cirque, the 6 Cirque shows, it depends on what you like. And if you want the cheapest, go to Mad Apple. If you want, staying power, if I had to pick one, I'd probably go Mystere.
All right, and congratulations, 13,000 shows. That's quite a milestone.
Yep.
All right, guys, this week's Jackpot of the Week is interesting. Jason Y writes in, he says, your recent storms and YouTube segment on them reminded me of a jackpot I hit at the Kiowa Casino in Oklahoma. I was playing a 25-cent game. As a thunderstorm rolled in, I hit a royal. As I turned around to take a selfie, the power went out. I freaked out thinking that I had lost my royal payoff, and an announcement came on, and everyone was told to stay at their machines, and if someone hit a jackpot, it would still be there. After about 5 minutes, the machine switched on, and my jackpot was there. Attached are the before and after pics. Wow.
Well, look at the expression. His expression is the same. He doesn't look like he was either too worried or
Right.
too excited when it came back.
Right.
But we're going to talk about that, about what happens at the power outage. The game he's playing there, and I'm going to get it right this week. It's Deuce's Wild game returning 97.58%.
Yeah, Deuces Royal Flush, Deuces Wild Royal Flush without any deuces.
Yep. So he gets paid like a regular royal.
Yep.
But the reason we chose this, we've got some bigger jackpots that are coming up in the future. But the reason we chose this is, again, another good lesson learned for people to understand. Every time there's a power outage in Vegas and it goes on the news that the machine stopped, we get flooded, forget the pun, but we get flooded with questions about what happened to the money in the machines.
Yeah.
And this is an example of what happens. They've all got their backup systems. And if you hit a jackpot, it's right there when you come back. And if you were just playing and you had $10 in the machine, it's right there when they come back. And I've almost never heard of a problem after a power outage in a revamp that anybody had run into a problem. They've got those systems really well set up.
Well, I know they got backup generators and all this stuff, but my question is, how many times is it that the power gets shut down and somebody's got a jackpot in that second?
Well, probably not often, and that's what he gets for shooting a selfie. But, no, I get it. But no, I know it was a pretty strange coincidence that happened, but it was really good. It was a good learning, and thanks for sending that in because it's a pretty good learning jackpot, I think.
Yeah. Well, I've had a few hand pays, and the second you get that hand pay, pretty quickly someone walks over to you. So I imagine the second that jackpot hits, there's also like a backup, somewhere in the
Their
casino.
systems are good. I mean, they've got to be, because it would be a nightmare if people were losing money, just because a storm came up.
Yeah. So all right. So now your money is safe at the casino.
Sort of.
Waka waka waka. Yeah.
Okay, so now we're going to do a quick revisit to last week. I mentioned just a few seconds ago that I got this one right. Well, last week, for some reason, I just had a brain glitch.
Okay.
Right? I had a brain glitch, and what I said was, here's a schedule, a bonus poker schedule, some derivative that I haven't seen before.
Okay.
All right, now as it turns out, it was a 9-7 double bonus machine, and we have a strategy card, which I've edited and I use all the time. And I mean, I've seen that schedule, I don't know, hundreds of times.
Okay.
But now there's a reason that I didn't recognize it. I'm not going to get into that. I'm not going to get into that reason. There was a reason I was thinking down another path, but I'm not going to bore everybody with that.
Okay.
But this is a pretty good story about how I realized it. And you know it because I called you in a panic.
You did. That's right.
Just after we posted the thing.
Yeah.
All right, so I get a call, Andrew,
Yeah.
from a buddy of mine, not a call, but a text. And he goes, is it true, is it possible that they've got a really good video poker schedule at Mr. D's? Mr. D's is a bar on Rainbow.
Okay.
Cool bar, good steak special, girls in bikinis, the whole thing. And I go, I write right back to him. I go, yep, they got 9-7 double bonus, 99.11% return. And the minute I wrote that, because I had said I ran the computer to see what the payoff was on the other 99.11, and I think to myself, well, that's strange. 99.11. I just said that on YouTube for the other schedule, and this is 99.11. And all of a sudden, I just went, oh no.
Clicked. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just I went, oh no. I said it out loud, and I went right to the thing, and I looked it up, and I said, oh my God, that was the same one, the double bonus thing. So. Anyway, I thought it was an interesting story how it happened. I'm sorry for that.
And for our drawing, we have been waiting to give away prizes, but we are still 17 subscribers short of hitting 10,000. We thought we might have crossed it by this time, but we haven't.
17.
So,
we have 9,983.
Yeah.
I mean,
we're very close.
and I kept looking at it all day going, we were 19 this morning, and then we got 2 more, and I'm like, are we going to make it by the time we shoot this? And we didn't.
So we will be doing the drawing soon. We have to cross the 10,000. But Anthony, you going to give us like an extra prize or something since it's gone on another week or so?
Heck yeah! I mean, we'll throw 1 or 2 extra prizes in there. So go ahead and sign up. The rules are up on the screen, or were. And sign up, get in there, and we'll have a drawing this week.
All right, guys, and that's it. Thank you very much. We have had more subscribers in a shorter period of time than ever before, so thank you. It seems like the drawing is working.
We seem kind of lame on this, but not really. I mean, it really did pump it up for us. We were down in the low 9,000s, and 9,000 few hundred, and we got it all the way up to 10K. So thank you for that.
And that's it for this week. We'll see you next week.